Living every day in your head for free. You can tap away, but I will not hear you scream. You can break your keys, spread your toxicity, your world outside reality. In your room, a little hideaway, but you let it through. Enough to go insane, living in the dark hasn't treated you well. You're building your.
What's up, Internet? I'm Aries Van Dam. Happy Wednesday. I am back. That's right. Your aging aura boss. Man. Rough day. But please subscribe so I can show my friends that I can get monetized and not be some fake nice guy. I need to be my dickhead self so that I can point out all these other dickheads on these videos. And this is an educational video. All my channel is educational. It is to help you not make bad arguments. I'm going to point out the bad arguments for you. So that's the whole point here. That way I can show all the content I want to. And let me see. I'm going to do all this. Let me introduce my co-host to you. He's having a bad morning today. So say hi to Ozzy, the attack terrier. There he is. He had a rough night with a husky the other night, so he's not feeling his best right now. He didn't do so well with her. She was too big for him. But a quick note too, Feminism Friday, we're gonna probably do that a little later on Friday. I'm thinking I might move it back to around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, just to see if I can get some more people over there and get some subscribers. So that's the whole mission here. I got to get subscribers. Right? That's all I'm looking for. And once I get 1,000, I will not ask you for subscribers and likes and all that shit. I'm trying not to do ads. If y'all will help me get monetized, you won't have to see any ads. I don't like selling shit because I think that that interferes with me having integrity, right? I want to have integrity. And I think if I'm selling you a bunch of shit I don't use, I don't have integrity. So I'm trying to do this so I don't have to do ads and do all the other bullshit that all the other channels do that I know piss you off because they piss me off too. So help me do that. All I need is a subscription, and I'm not going to ask you for anything but your attention after that. That's all I need is your attention. And speaking of which, I'm working on a video about social programming. I think you guys are going to want to see it. I know I'm not famous enough for y'all to care about my opinion on things, but I promise you that one will help y'all to navigate all the craziness you're seeing right now. All the social programming you're seeing on Fox News or CNN or wherever you're watching it, it's going to help you, right? And I understand I'm not a big name. Just trust me and watch this video. It'll be shorter. It won't be a 2-hour video. It'll probably be like 10 to 15 minutes long, but it will help you, right? I haven't even filmed any of it. I just know what I've got written so far. You're going to want to see it, all right? That'll be probably coming by next week sometime. But let's get into it. Today I'm highlighting Owen Shroyer, because I think he's doing really amazing work right now. Go subscribe to the Owen Report. Both of the videos are linked in the description. I link all the videos that I'm reacting to, I guess. I link them all in the description because I think you should. Like, you're just paying homage to what the content you're reviewing. Whether you like it or not, that's something you kind of owe them. So that's why I do it. And plus, I interrupt a lot, and some people get aggravated. If I get to be too much, it's in the description. That's what it's there for. I understand. I've been told I'm a bit much. But let me bring this up. We're gonna watch another video after this. It's when he went on Piers Morgan. It's just a little short panel one. These are both short. This is one where he's interviewing, he's debating Green Beret, who has some issues with, I guess, what he does. Let's get into it and see what's going on. Let me turn the music off. There we go. All right, let's get into it.
Here we go. All right, I'm interrupting my show now to bring you on, because we had an agreement today, and you called me scared while the invite was sitting in your inbox. So here you are. So you have an issue.
You sent that invite 5:06 p.m. All right.
What are you talking about? I sent you a message. It doesn't matter. You're in here now. So what are your issues with me? You come after me on X. So what are your issues with me?
My issues with you are that you push lies. You have a massive following, and you consistently push lies against Israel.
Name one
that aren't true. Now, if we want to have
no, name one lie.
Let's go pull some up.
Go ahead. I'll be waiting. It's amazing. You'd think you'd have that knowledge.
Yeah, I would think that if you're going on to a show to debate somebody on how awful they are, you would have some examples of how, awful they are, since that's what you're there to talk about.
To make such a claim, you'd think you'd have that knowledge readily available, but you're stuttering now. So go ahead.
It almost sounds like a leftist. You know how they'll just say Trump did these things and you ask for an example of it and they're like, that's what this is. It's the same mind virus that woke people have. It's the exact same thing.
Wasting all of our time now. Go ahead.
I'm not stuttering. You're interrupting. So the claim that you made that, do you agree with what the IDF did in Gaza? Assuming so you're saying that there was a genocide in Gaza. Is that what you're pushing right now? Is that your thought process?
Who said that? Who said that? Did I say that?
You're implying it. Were you not?
I'm implying it. So I didn't say it though.
This is the exact problem with people like you. I was implying it, but I didn't say it.
I didn't say I implied it, and I didn't say it. You said it. You literally
implied
said
it.
that. So you've said two things about me that aren't true. Oh, okay. So let's get some facts straight. Let's get some facts straight. How many people has Israel killed in Palestine?
Total combatants? 30,000?
Yeah, take a guess. Why not? You're just on a debate. Just take a guess at how many. Sure. Let's go with that number.
6,000 to 7,000 civilians.
So you can't. So again, the question was
1.5 to 1 ratio.
Okay.
Which
the question was how many people has Israel killed in the Gaza Strip in Palestine? How many people?
I can't give you an exact answer on that because one, there's a war.
Okay.
There was a war going on.
Because Israel's not even letting peacekeepers come in and see how many dead people are there, right? They won't even let the journalists in to see how many people have died. That's why you don't know the accurate numbers, right? We're just taking guesses because Israel's still hiding that information from us to this day.
Trust President Trump? Do you
months after the ceasefire?
Trust President Trump?
Are you letting me talk? Are you letting me talk?
You don't talk. You don't know anything. You come to a debate with no information. The number is 70,000. The number is 70,000. That's the official number that the Trump administration has confirmed is 70,000. 30,000 are women and children. Do you support that?
30,000 was not women and children. That was never pushed by the Trump administration. That was pushed by the Gaza Health Ministry,
Trump
which is
never
Hamas.
said 70,000. Trump never said that. Is your claim right here?
I don't know what Trump said. I'm not
so
talking
about anything.
That.
So again,
I'm talking about the number that
so again, you have no information for this debate. Okay,
which is Hamas.
Okay. So
his whole argument is you're bad because I think you're bad. I have no evidence to show why. Everything I say, I can't prove. This is TDS right here. He has ODS or whatever, Owen derangement syndrome.
Let's say that 30,000 women and children were killed. Would you be okay with that?
I mean, obviously, the goal is never to kill women and children. But when you're prosecuting a war against a terrorist organization in an urban environment, especially in one in such a small area as Gaza, there's going to be casualties that happen. And Hamas
this is amazing.
plans it that way. Hamas hides behind.
I love how they call them the terrorists, right? Those women and children over there are terrorists. Right? We're blowing them up, but they're the terrorists. We're blowing up the women and children and calling them terrorists. Do you not see anything wrong with that? You're murdering women and children who are not involved with this war and calling them terrorists. That's the level of delusion in these fucking mindless morons.
Civilian populaces, and Hamas keeps them from leaving from targeted buildings, even after roof knockers, even after they've been told that there's going to be a strike coming. So you're being disingenuous about this whole thing, and then you're coming off all super strong. Like if we were sitting in a room together right now, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be acting as tough as you are.
I promise you I would. Fake tough army bitches. What the fuck is this loser going to do? You going to beat him up? Right. Pussy fat loser.
But I'll allow that to happen because
fucking
it's
tough
a little
guys.
bit
I hate fake tough guys.
That you're going to sit here and say that there was a hint at there was a genocide and start throwing out numbers. You want to throw out numbers? How many people did we kill in Tokyo firebombing alone in 48 hours?
So now you're talking about something completely different. So this is the woke.
I'm talking about war.
First you have to defend death.
War?
So the woke right, first they have to defend death, and then when they can't win the debate, they have to talk about something else. They have to deflect and talk about something else. So so what are you talking about now? So far you have zero lies that I've told. So you come first, you say I'm scared while the debate is sitting in your inbox. Then you come on here and say I'm lying, but you still haven't said one lie.
Just sent the debate.
One lie. One lie.
You literally sent it 4 minutes ago. I have a timestamp on it. Why are you lying?
Dude, I
You want me to
literally
show you?
posted
Can I
the
pull it up on here?
screenshot. You understand that I posted the screenshot of the original message over an hour ago? Is there anything that you can be honest about? Is there anything that you know?
Anything that you
Tell
can
me
be honest with,
one
bro.
thing I've lied about.
You lie all the time. You
So tell me
vilify,
one thing.
you
So
vilify
tell me
Jews
one
and Israel
thing.
all of the time.
All the time. I just can't think of one example. Not one. But you do it all the time.
Dude, I see it. I don't
Tell
follow
me
you.
one
I
lie.
don't listen
I
to
see
all
it.
of your stuff, but I
So
see
if
what
you're
you do.
ignorant, so you
and
know
you're
not.
I see it, but I still can't remember it.
a propagandist, and you're a liar, and you know you are, and you know you are. And
here's
then,
what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do.
No. You're gonna let me talk. You're gonna let me talk. You talk for a living on this show. You're gonna let me talk. All right. You're not playing this bully game where you get to do whatever you want. You're gonna sit here and you're gonna ask me for a
I really wish Owen would have just bullied him right there. He is on his show. He could do whatever the fuck he wants. He can mute him if he wants to. You don't tell me what we're gonna do, bitch. You're on my show.
debate, a good-natured debate.
I'm asking
right?
you for
And then
one
I
thing I've
respond
lied
to you,
about.
and
Tell me
I respond
one
to you. Are you
thing.
gonna let me talk?
Tell me one thing I've lied about. One.
Are you gonna let me
Just
talk?
one. I will shut up.
You
Just
say
tell
you
me
want to have
one
a
thing.
debate.
Just tell me one
And
thing.
I lay out, you ask me these questions, and I lay out and destroy every single one of your questions.
You
And
haven't
then you
said
give a
anything.
3-sentence
literally said
response
nothing.
about that everything I said was just propaganda. Did you actually even read the article? Did you look at anything that I have actually worked on?
No, no one knows or cares about you.
Did you?
No.
Did you read the post that I
I'm just
did?
waiting for you to say one thing I've lied about. That's it. I'm just waiting for one.
Oh my God. You lie about Israel. You lie about Gaza. You
Name
lie about
one.
that all of the time.
Name
You lie about it
one.
all the time.
Name one.
You lie about it all the time. Go on your feet.
All the time.
This is pathetic. I lie about it all the time. You can't name one thing.
Yeah, I literally am lying. Yeah, I'm telling you what you're lying about right now. I'm telling you. You are lying about Gaza and about Israel all of the
Freudian
time.
slip.
Tell me one
And I don't
thing.
even care about Israel. I just care about people who
Sure
have
you don't.
500,000 followers saying lies all the time.
So
It's
name
insane,
one.
dude.
So name one.
You lie about Israel all of the time.
Do you
All
have
of
anything
the
else to say? Or are
time.
you going to keep wasting my audience's time? Tell me one thing I've lied about. Tell me
You probably
one
have the biggest
point-
audience you have because I'm coming into your show right now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
So let's talk about what
Oh no. Jeremy Brown has entered the fucking video. So what? No one knows who this dude is or cares.
you said to me, right? So let's go through. Let me pull this up. I'm gonna read.
Actually, you put me on a list. That's what you did because you're woke right. So you put me on a list, just like the woke left likes to make
How am I
lists.
woke right?
So you started that. Well, first you have to defend death. So that's woke. You
No, I
put me
don't.
on a list. That's
How
woke.
am I
And then you
defending
come
that?
on this show, and then you come on this show and make claims that you can't back up. So all of these things are
And you're defending the people who brought us Hollywood, right? Israel, right? The people who brainwashed our entire generation through TV and media. You're defending them. That's why you're woke, dumbass. Because you're defending the people who have caused all this. That's what makes you woke.
core tenets of woke. You're the woke right.
Mm. Mhm. I'm the woke right.
You're defending the side that shoved feminism down our throats. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm the woke right.
Yes.
You are legit a populist, and you've been a populist since you were at InfoWars, and you're still doing all that same stuff today, and you're still pushing all of the same propaganda. You're
Name
still
one.
pushing it.
Name one.
How many has Mike Huckabee saved in Israel by bringing people to Jesus Christ?
That's a great question. How many souls are you a Christian?
Can a question be a lie? I'm just curious. Can a question be a lie? I don't think it can be. Let's hear him say how it is.
Of course I'm a Christian.
So you believe that the path to salvation is through Jesus Christ.
I do.
It's one of the main cores of Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm glad we agree. So how many people has Mike Huckabee saved? How many souls has Mike Huckabee saved in Israel by converting them to Christianity? How many people has Mike Huckabee brought to Jesus Christ in Israel? That was my question. I don't know what that has to do with you, but okay. So that was my question. You have an
That's
answer?
stupid. Who's going to be able to answer? This is a hypothetical. It's like, again, this is another thing you do. You ask these. You're like, I was just asking questions, bro. It's insane, dude.
You don't like
You know
asking
it's
questions?
insane.
You don't like people that ask questions?
That's not really a hypothetical either. That would be something different. It wouldn't be a hypothetical though, because we are asking a question about reality. How many people has he saved? That's not hypothetical anything. It's a question, something you can't know, but it's not really a hypothetical.
When you ask questions the way that you do, like implying
like
that there's
how
something
I
else
ask
about it,
Oh, okay. Got you. What would I be implying then?
you're implying that he's somehow taken over by Israel or whatever it is. Whatever
What?
your little.
When did I say that? I simply asked if he's converted anybody if he's brought anybody to Jesus Christ. That was my question.
Mm-hmm.
So you have no answer there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know why you brought that up. So you keep reaching here. I'm not going to do this very long. Do you have anything?
I'm
to
not
actually
reaching
talk
for
about?
anything, bro.
Do you have any point?
No, you're not reaching because you're not even coming up with anything at all. You're bringing up questions and trying to call this question a lie.
You sit here and you made the comment about the IDF. You said you support their actions, what the IDF did. Absolutely. They prosecuted one of the cleanest wars that you can. The civilian casualties were incredibly low. Again, in Tokyo alone, we killed 100,000 people in 48 hours with firebombs. So are we war criminals? Does that make the United States more war criminals?
Well, you're deflecting, but yes, our government,
yeah.
the United States
comparison of war type scenarios in urban combat.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's not?
Is this clown actually trying to argue that it's not a war crime if America does it? Like if we go kill a bunch of babies, it's not a war crime. That's just the way things are, right? Is that the argument here? That you're unpatriotic if you point out that some people do some bad things that also are the same nationality as you. How is that unpatriotic? Literally, how? Oh, shit.
We were talking about Gaza, so I thought we were talking about Gaza. I don't know what you're talking about.
We are talking about Gaza. You're saying that 70,000 people. You're saying that 70,000 people dead in a 2-year war is some extravagant thing. We killed 100,000 people in Tokyo in 48 hours.
So that's great. So you're defending the death of innocent women and children. That's good. I'm glad that you're being honest. That's your stand.
So you're comparing Gaza to nuclear weapons or atomic bombs? That's what you're comparing it to? Great. Okay, we could go with that then. Right. Both of them should be war criminals. Both of them did some horrible things to people who were innocent. Right. What's your problem?
God, see, this is why people like you are so insufferable, dude. Like, no, I'm not defending that. I'm talking about the realities of war.
But
how much war have you been in? How much time did you serve?
I've never been in the military.
How much war strategy have you done?
What is that?
How much expertise in anything but sitting in front of that microphone you actually have in this world?
So you're
Oh, did you drive a Jeep for the military? So now you're a military expert? Shithead. He's commenting about the political side. He's not commenting about the military side.
You good at?
All right, that's
what
fair.
Are you good at?
Hold on. Are you're military? You're a veteran?
Yes.
All right, I respect that. All right, hold on. I don't contend that. I'll sacrifice that. You've got the experience. But since you asked, I'll go like this. How is it that Israel is able to penetrate Iran to such a specific degree that they can put a miniature explosive device on all of its targets in Iran, but they can't operate systematically in Gaza to spare innocent lives?
They do. They hit.
Your whole point of contention is that they don't, but that's okay because it's war.
Bro, do you know what they did to Gaza with all of the money they had for almost 20 years? They built tunnels.
Is that an answer to the question he just asked you? I don't think it is. He asked you a question.
They turned every piece of thing that they had into war fighting things to help them war fight against Israel. Like this is like,
all right. So, okay.
Are you serious?
Let me ask you this. Do you want to continue to fund the IDF?
We don't fund the IDF.
Oh my God.
The United States doesn't give Israel military support and financial.
You're talking about 3.8 billion, right? So 0.056% of our national budget, annual budget.
Oh, we get to the talking points, the Hasbara talking points. It's only X amount percentage of your entire budget. Who gives a fuck what percentage of our total budget it is? It's still not supposed to go to you. Like, why does it go to Israel? Why are we just... Is that our tithe to them? Why are we obligated to give them shit? This dude, who cares what the percentage is? It makes no difference. It could be 0%. It's still our money we pay taxes on, and we're giving it to a country that does awful shit. Why? Way bigger than that. It's way bigger than that. Yeah, it is. But again, so are you okay financially supporting the IDF? Are you okay financially supporting Israel? Do you support that?
I absolutely support that. You want me to tell you why?
Sure, go ahead. Explain to me how you
obviously didn't read the article.
Explain to my audience how you like your tax dollars going to killing children, please.
See, and then you frame it like that. That's
what it is. We are giving them money They're taking that money, buying bombs, and blowing up children with them. What are you not understanding?
Such a little piece
That's
of shit,
true.
dude. That's
That's
insane.
true.
Oh, it's very minute to go kill kids. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Did the
Israel,
IDF kill kids?
Israel is
Did
a
the IDF
proxy for us.
Did the
Israel
IDF
is a
kill kids
proxy
in
for us
Gaza?
in the Middle East. The 3.8 billion that we give, there's 75% of that is required to come back into our own defenses, that they have to buy weapons.
You
for us.
like the
They have to buy-
military-industrial complex. I love this. So you're a fan of the military-industrial complex. You love funding the military-industrial complex. You love being a slave.
If we did
to the
not have
military-industrial
Israel,
complex.
if we did not have Israel there, we would have to either have carriers or we would have to man more bases with our own tax dollars and our own boots on the ground to ensure.
Right. If we keep fucking getting into the Middle East game, we're going to have to do a lot of shit like that. That's why we want to get out of the Middle East game. That's not our fucking problem. We have a few bases there. That's fine. Keep those. We don't need to do anything else. That's not our fucking problem.
That everything in the Middle East remained how it is. So this
Why
is
right
nothing.
there? Why
How
should I
much
care?
strategy? How much strategy and planning experience do you have?
Yeah.
How much military strategy do you
That's so
know?
true, because our foreign policy in the Middle East has been so great, hasn't it? Hasn't it been great?
No, I'll absolutely agree that our foreign policy
there
in the
we
Middle
go.
East has
There
been
we
terrible. But most
Oh, it's terrible, but let's just keep doing it. Let's just keep doing the terrible thing we both admit is terrible. Brainiac.
of that has been against Israel's guidance.
You're right.
Israel didn't want us to go in Iraq.
You're
That's a
right.
fact.
Netanyahu hasn't been telling us to do.
Netanyahu, when we invaded Iraq, Netanyahu wasn't the prime minister.
Who came to
Oh.
Congress since the 1980s saying we have to go into it?
When he became the prime minister, did he come help us since it was a war he got us into? Did he come do that? Nope. Nope. He just said, nah, we're not going to get involved in that. That's y'all's deal.
Iraq, we have to go into Afghanistan, and we need to do regime change.
Netanyahu was not the prime minister.
It
when
was
we
literally,
invaded
that's not
Iraq.
what I asked. I said, who went in front of Congress and said we have to go into these countries? That was Benjamin Netanyahu. He's been doing
Okay.
it since
I
the
don't
80s.
necessarily agree with
He
Benjamin
told us-
Netanyahu.
He told
But
us
what I'm telling you
the
right
weapons
now
of mass
is that
destruction.
they did not want us to go into Iraq. They did not want us to implement Arab Spring, and we did all that. They didn't want us to overthrow the Shah of Iran.
So don't listen to your eyes and ears. Don't listen to the video of the prime minister, who's the prime minister now, telling our Congress we have to do this. Don't listen to that. They didn't want it. They told us not to. That's literally the level of delusion this guy's got. He became the prime minister like what? How long after he went and told us to do that? And he gave us no aid, no assistance, sent no troops. We handled it all by ourselves because Israel is not our ally. They are not an ally. They don't help us with anything good.
Okay,
did that on
again,
our own.
so we're talking about something completely irrelevant to the debate. You took
No,
an
we're not.
issue of what I said about the IDF. That was your whole point of contention, and you can't really explain it. So now you're talking
I
about
did explain it.
Tokyo.
I'm
You're
gonna explain
talking
it.
about
The IDF hasn't done anything wrong. Now, are
The
there
IDF
instances
hasn't
where
done
the IDF
anything
has
wrong.
done things that maybe they
The IDF has not done anything wrong. You just heard this Green Beret say the IDF has not done anything wrong, right? All those dead babies, they must have just like crib death or something. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows why they're exploded to all ends of the fucking Gaza Strip? Who knows?
They
Hold on.
shouldn't have?
IDF
Absolutely. It's war, dude. It's war.
All right,
So,
I'll tell you
like-
what. I want to say, I want digitally shake your hand. I'm glad you came on. I respect you. You're a veteran.
God, you're a baby, dude. You're a child. You're a child. Anybody that listens to you and believes you is
What an argument. You're a baby. You're just a baby. Good debate argument, stupid.
guzzling down propaganda.
Right,
This is all you do.
right. You just literally repeat a bunch
Notice
of
how you framed
propaganda.
your question to me. Notice how you framed your question to me about giving money to Israel or whatever. You were like, oh, so you stand behind killing babies, and that's, you know what that is? That's what a leftist does. That's exactly what a leftist does, and that's what you are.
As if Ben Shapiro isn't doing that every fucking day. That is all he does all day long. What are you talking about? You Zionists are fucking retarded.
That's absolutely what
sure.
you are. You're a
Yeah.
chameleon. You're gonna hide and you're gonna play this game, but at the end of whenever it comes, time is due, you're gonna fall in and you're gonna go with whoever is in power, because that's the kind of person
Trump
that you
is
are.
in power. What are you talking about? Trump is in power. All right. Well,
I
tried
know
to have a
Trump
nice
is in
segment
power.
with
And
you.
if Trump wasn't in power,
you just
you
insulted
would
me, and now
switch
you've
sides to
embarrassed
there. Like,
I
this is
tried
all
to have
I'm saying.
a cordial exit with you and show you
You
respect.
did not. You did not try to have a cordial.
He just told you he respects you, and he was trying to get you off before you made a bigger ass out of yourself. He's trying to do you a favor.
conversation. You want to have a conversation? Then let me talk. You want to talk about stuff?
You're actually really
What
sad.
do you not know about the Middle East? Because I think it's a lot.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to get back to my show because you're wasting my audience's time. You haven't proved any point. You just got destroyed in the debate. You just embarrassed yourself.
Oh, you embarrassed yourself, bro.
You couldn't give me one point of contention.
You came to a debate and said he is a liar and then could not produce one fucking lie. He gave you an opportunity. He let you talk as long as you wanted and you couldn't come up with one. You sat there just drooling on yourself and you think you did well in this debate.
Offer nothing to my audience. All you do is parrot propaganda. Every attack you made
have I parroted?
Silent.
What propaganda? Name it.
You're sitting here telling me that, oh, no, it's the cleanest operation ever. It's the cleanest
It
operation.
is.
He did say that the IDF has done nothing wrong. Wouldn't that be a fucking propaganda there? How do you think they've done nothing wrong?
If the United States with
civilian
Israel,
deaths
the Middle East would be a disaster.
For a lot of our operations were 15-1, and they're at 1.5-1.
If you operated like the IDF did in Gaza, you would be brought in for a military tribunal.
That's the stupidest thing you could have ever. No, are you serious?
Yeah. If you were shooting kids, if you were shooting innocent kids and bombing,
when did they shoot kids? When did they shoot innocent kids?
You just don't realize that they've literally drawn kids' bodies with bullet wounds in them and bullet casings in them and everything else. You know that?
Bullet casings.
He misspoke.
Did you hear yourself?
Bullet, not a
bullet casings in people. Is that what you said?
He misspoke. He's not a military guy. We've already established that.
Okay, you got
a round goes through a barrel. Are you serious right now? Concerts and raped them in front of their family. So this all happened, and that's real. That happened, right?
3 Americans just died in Syria. Okay. Do you know who tried to stop them from going?
You know who killed them? Islamic terrorists. And you know
why are they there?
You push Islamic terrorist propaganda. That's who you're on the side of.
Yeah, nice. Really intellectual.
Go buy a house in Qatar, bro. You said you wanted to. Go do it.
Look at you. Look at you. You are great. You are fun.
These jar-headed morons think that if you think you shouldn't be like financing them to do their fucking crimes, that you're anti-patriotic somehow. Like that's part of being America, is just like letting Israel murder children. How is that? Is that as American as apple pie to you? Like I didn't come up with like that wasn't Americana to me when I was growing up, murdering little brown babies. And to be fair, I don't care if they kill all of the adults. Kill them all. And I hope that the other side kills all the Israeli adults because they're monsters. I don't give a shit about either side in this war, right? I really don't. I just don't want to finance it. And I don't want us having to deal with it and get the blowback whenever the Muslims get crazy and fucking want to blow shit up here. Why pick a fight we don't have to?
So any other points of contention before I let you go here with me?
You were supposed to tell me the propaganda that I was pushing.
I just told you. You said it was a clean operation.
It was 100% a clean operation. That's not propaganda. If you look at the actual metrics of it, that's absolutely true. That's from official sources. This is not like made up. You're going to look at the Gaza Health Ministry, or you're taking all your stuff from Al Jazeera, which is
Trump
insane.
Said that. Trump said 70,000. That was Trump.
Where? Show me where Trump said 70,000.
I follow news. I pay attention to news. I don't know what you do, but this is what I do for a living. You recognize that? I have a big following.
What you do for a living is you get in front of a microphone and you lie. That's all you do.
Name one lie.
Yeah, dude still can't fucking produce one lie. How about that? He just said Trump did say 70,000. Now, if you had a brain in your head, you'd go look and see if Trump really said that, right? But you're not doing that because you know he did say that, right? You know he did say that. That's why you don't want to go look, because you would have their lie right there. Owen's sitting here telling you, produce one lie. He just told you that Trump said that. You said Trump, you don't think Trump did. Go look, go get that information, and there would be your one lie you can fucking bring up, because you just can't think of any that are so, it happens every day, but you can't think of one. Not one.
Again, you haven't said one lie. That was your whole thing.
You lie all the time. You're sitting here lying about, right now, you just lied about me supporting an ally and saying that I want to kill children because of that. You're a liar. That's a lie.
He didn't say that. He said, do you support giving money to the IDF so that they can murder babies? He didn't say any of that other shit. That's all just shit you made up in your head because you're a leftist.
That is a lie. It's a lie.
You don't know
it's propaganda. You're framing a question so that you can use it against me. And this is a classic tactic. Mm-hmm. This isn't like some little crazy world you're living in.
Yeah, that's called a debate, shithead. When you say stupid shit, he's going to use it against you. That's why you shouldn't say stupid shit in a debate.
This is real life. And the stuff that you are pushing is going to get people hurt. And that's what.
Oh, here we go. Here's more woke speak. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah. You're going to get those Israeli people hurt when they have to fight their own wars, right? How is getting out of war going to get people hurt? Please explain that. Please tell me how pulling our troops out of there and saying we're not fucking doing this no more. Tell us, how does that get more people hurt? Or how does that get people we care about hurt? Please explain that, because you're going to have to explain the people you care about is Israel.
Woke speech. Like, again, see, and then you label it like this, like, whatever, bro, dude. Keep doing what you're doing. You know, keep misleading all of the people that watch your shows. And it doesn't.
If you hear someone say "whatever, bro" in the middle of a debate, you can pretty much write it down. That dude just lost.
Really even matter. And all the Groypers out there, and you're like 7,000. Dude, I'm a Christian from Texas. I don't get paid by anybody. I have a regular job. I don't do this for a living.
I've never.
I would be glad to get on here.
It shows. It shows you don't do this for a living. It shows you're not even very good at it.
And tell Owen that he's an idiot and that he's a liar, because he is. And
you just lost in a debate to an idiot and a liar. So how does that feel?
I didn't lose anything, bro.
You couldn't produce the one thing you said he does every day. You can't produce one example of it. That sounds like you're losing, buddy.
Anybody that watches it has a brain, knows exactly what you're doing, and knows everything that I just pulled.
Yes, he's embarrassing you. He is running you dry because you suck.
You made a really strong point. Well, again, I'll try this again. I respect you. You came on the show. You talked some trash. You came on the show. You had a conversation with me. I respect that. I respect you as a veteran. I have fun doing this. So you can go out.
So what's our ROI from Israel then?
Oh, see, here comes the propaganda. The ROI propaganda.
He must have got a tour with Hasbara, because he's got all their talking points now. How much do we benefit from fucking giving Israel all of our money? That's the literal talking point. That's the voodoo they're trying to put on you, right? The mind control. How much does your GDP go up because you give us all this money? Are you really that stupid to think that you're getting your economy's getting better by giving away billions of dollars? Okay, give it to me then. Maybe it'll help the economy.
How many lives is it worth? How many lives is it worth?
What do you mean, how many lives?
How many American lives is it worth to support Israel?
How many lives is it worth? We don't have to put boots on the ground. We don't have to have our soldiers over there doing stuff, because because the Levant is taken care of by Israel. We don't have to do that.
Ridiculous.
So do you want our soldiers to go over there and have to deal with that more? You want more people in Syria?
Is your argument that no Americans have died in the Middle East?
I never said that.
Okay, so you're admitting Americans died in the Middle East for these wars. So I asked you,
how
many American lives are worth it?
Israel did not want us to go into Iraq. So you're saying that we went into Iraq because of Israel?
How many American?
Yeah, Israel didn't want us to go take out one of their enemies. They really didn't want that, right? Is that what you think? Because their prime minister going to our Congress and begging us to do it, that kind of makes me think that they did want us to do it and that it did benefit them.
Lives is worth it to be involved in the Middle East. That's my question. How many American lives?
We have to be involved in the Middle East, because if we're not involved in the Middle East, then they
Why
will come to us. Like, the level of stupid.
So we've never been out of the Middle East, basically, since it started being a fucking mess. We've never been out of it. But if we do get out of it, we'll have bombs here. Hey, you remember 9/11? You remember that? That was because of our involvement in the Middle East, with however you look at it, with it being Israel or it being Saudi Arabia, whatever. That is from our involvement in the Middle East, right? The blowback does come here when you're involved. When you're not involved, are they going and bombing fucking Sweden? Does Sweden get bombed a lot by fucking Muslims? No, they do not. Why? Because they're not getting involved.
Stupidity that you people have about strategy and about the world and how everything actually works.
Who's
insane. Coming? Use a little gold mic and you're like, I know everything.
Who's coming to us?
Everything that I pulled from on my article on the ROI from Israel is from the U.S. State Department. It's from Congressional Research.
Literal state propaganda. Congratulations.
Economics analysis.
So that's literal state propaganda.
Okay. So are you saying that all of that is propaganda?
Yes. If you're telling us our economy gets better by giving our money away, yes, it's propaganda. It's definitely propaganda.
You're the one citing state propaganda reports, not me.
So you're saying that anything that the state puts out is propaganda.
What do you mean they're coming here? What does that mean? You say they're coming here. What does that mean?
If they're not fighting Israel in the Middle East, if they're not fighting for that, where do you think they're headed next?
Why would they come here? For what?
They're already here, dude.
Yeah, because we have bad
What just
policy
happened in
an
New
open
York
border.
City?
Yeah, okay. So what's your point, though? Why are they coming here?
They're coming here they're an expansionist. Islam is an expansionist religion that wants to take over and create the role of the
They don't have to come
so
here.
they want to take over everything.
So do you think we could take those billions of dollars and invest it more in like just maybe like keeping those kind of people out, like keeping all kind of those people out? Wouldn't that be a better use of those billions of dollars to like put that towards our own infrastructure and keeping like immigrants who want to do us harm from coming here? Would that be a better use of the money instead of trying to think we're boosting our economy by giving our shit away?
So are you trying to argue now that Islamists aren't trying to take over the Western world?
Again, I never said that. I'm asking you what that means when you say they're coming here. And it's funny because you actually just admitted it. You're backing off. They're fighting Israel in Israel, but they can't touch it. So now they're coming to America that funds and supports Israel to do harm here.
Right.
They would come to America and do harm on us no matter what.
No.
How? If we don't let them into the country, how are they blowing shit up here when they can't get in?
Matter what, when did that start? For 250 years of America's existence, when did this start happening?
When did that start? It's been happening for decades. Are you serious?
Oh, okay. So it hasn't happened for the 250-year history of this country.
Israel wasn't a state for 250 years either. So what's your point on that?
Oh, wow. Thank you.
What's your point? Oh, this is what you do? Whoa. That's what you do? What? You just made some valid point? You didn't make a point. You're talking about...
He kind of did just make a point. And he's trying to say that Israel is the root of all of our problems. And you just admitted we didn't have problems before Israel was there. Thank you. You kind of fucking just fell into it and you're too stupid to see it.
The creation of the United States 250 years ago and then trying to conflate it with this now, that's what you're doing?
That's the problem. You don't get the point.
This guy literally just admitted we would have no problems before Israel was a thing. Now Israel's a thing and it's a problem and we have to deal with it all the time. We have to just keep sending them money because now Israel's a thing. And I don't really see the logic in that. Why wouldn't we just cut them off and let them fend for themselves? If they deserve to exist, then I guess God will see that since they're the chosen people and he'll make it happen for them. But why do we have to be that? We're not Jesus, we're America.
Point.
You're not making a point. You're doing the same thing you always do.
No, I'm making a very strong point that America doesn't need Israel. America needs to decouple from the Middle East. And the America way of life and standard has gone nothing but negative and downwards since we got involved in the Middle East and since we started working with Israel on foreign
domestic issues in America have nothing to do with our foreign policy in the Middle East.
Really?
Are you serious?
Really?
Are you serious? All foreign aid together is a tiny percentage of our national budget. We're spending trillions of dollars on welfare to.
So because we spend trillions of dollars in other places, we have to give billions of dollars to all these freeloader countries in the Middle East, right? Is that the argument? Please explain that. Please explain why billions of dollars are just it's just a tiny amount of money that we give to them. Make that make sense? Because billions of dollars sounds like a lot to us normal people. Like when we're just giving it away for charity to some fucking country that lies to us. Why? Make that make sense. Tell us why we should do that.
People who don't work. And you're sitting here talking about the evil Jews. This is my entire point.
What?
He hasn't mentioned Jews once. Israel's a secular nation, shithead.
My entire point.
Who said that?
You.
I literally have never said that.
You imply it all the time.
So this guy is arguing based off of his interpretation of the things that Owen says. He's not even arguing what Owen says anymore. He's just arguing how his brain dead brain fucking interprets what Owen says. That's why there's a fucking problem here, because he's arguing against a ghost. He's not arguing against reality. He's arguing against what he thinks Owen means.
You say, and you know it.
You just hear what you want to hear because you're woke. That's all. You don't actually listen.
Whatever,
you don't actually comprehend. You just have this woke mind.
This is identical to TDS. It is identical. They hear what they want to hear, and then they just their brain does this weird mechanic where it just kind of puts it together into this jigsaw puzzle of what they think happened, and that becomes the reality. That's why you can debate them so easily, because they can't back up anything they say. When you ask for a lie, you ask them, how is Trump racist? Because they just want to believe it so bad.
All right, anything else?
If you really want to talk about the strategy of the world, we can go over it. This is the last thing I did in the Army. was theater level planning for theater level campaigns and the strategy involved with all of that. You want to talk about it?
No,
Or
I'm
you wanna
talking
sit
about
here-
policy. No, I talk about policy here. But you, again, you're the
What
one that called me
policy?
a liar, and you've not delivered on a single lie. You can't deliver
You
one.
lie all the time
You've
about
been here for
this.
All the time is not an argument. Give an example. Let's hear the examples. You're on a debate. You're in a debate now with Owen Shroyer trying to call him out. Why can't you produce one example of the thing you keep talking about like it's real?
You know about Gaza, about the IDF. You lie about
I can't.
what is actually important
do.
in our strategic
How about this?
alliances.
Do you
You're
like,
lying about
do
all
you
of
like,
it.
do you
Your
like
entire
football?
worldview is a lie, and you
like
know
music?
it.
Okay.
Owen needs a better mic though. That mic is not holding up here. He keeps getting cut out. I don't like. It's not good for debates. It's a good mic, but it's not good for debates.
Do you like football or music or anything like that?
Of course.
Like steak? Awesome. All right. So we got that in common. How about that? That's cool, right?
We probably have a lot in common, except for
Awesome.
this view on the Middle East that you just don't understand, and that's the point.
All right.
Dude.
All right.
You don't.
Well,
You don't
we'll
understand.
We'll see how many people you convinced here today. And the truth is, I don't want to understand. I don't want anything to do with it. It's been nothing but
this isolationist stance is not going to work.
Isolationist, more propaganda. Isolationist, more
Because this guy says so. This guy that can't think of an example of the thing he's arguing, he doesn't think so. Like it's just not gonna work because I say so.
propaganda from the 2001s.
You saying America should leave all foreign entanglement and not deal with anything else in the world is literally isolating.
He didn't say that. He said the Middle East. We should get out of the Middle East. We're still gonna have to negotiate with shit and deal with people, but just we're not gonna finance their wars and pay their bills for them.
Isolationism, is it not?
How did that do for us for our first 200 years? Pretty good.
No, it didn't. We actually almost, if
Really?
we hadn't joined World War II and hadn't catapulted from there, our industry and everything would have plummeted and we would have went under.
Really?
Are you serious right now?
So the collapse.
Because this guy says so, right? Based off no evidence, no facts, no nothing. Just, yeah, it would have collapsed. I know it would have collapsed because I say so. No, that's propaganda back then. They said this is the same thing. He believes anything he hears.
Of U.S. infrastructure and manufacturing and production and Americans as a people has all declined since World War II. And you think that's good?
Have all declined since World War II? Oh, of course, like manufacturing has declined since World War II. The manufacturing ramped up to insane levels so that we could support the entire war effort. So like, yeah, of course it is. And yes, I would rather manufacturing return to the United States and be way stronger in the United States. And I support policy that
And you
works
know
with
what we
that.
can do.
But our foreign
support policy, there it is. So you support policy that would do that. So how about we don't spend $20 trillion in the Middle East, and instead we invest $20 trillion in the United States of
we never
America?
spent $20 trillion in the Middle East. First of all, that's a lie.
We never spent $20 trillion in the Middle East. Okay.
We did not spend $20 trillion in the Middle East.
We've spent way more than that in the Middle East, but just in Israel, we've spent more than that. Like if he's going to pull it up, I don't remember if he does it or not, but I didn't see this one recently. But there's a list. It's up to almost 100 billion, I think.
All right.
I think that's
God
just Israel.
bless you. Godspeed.
See?
I salute
Yep.
you.
Another lie. Hey guys, we didn't spend 20 trillion in the Middle East. It's
Okay.
about closer to 8 trillion. But you know, and that's
All
most of that
The
was
truth is,
for our soldiers. that came
you're a
back.
veteran. You understand war more than
And
me.
I'm actually against the Iraq war. I was against
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
you know,
I'm
so-
saying, hey, look, you know more about war than me. You know way more about it. You're an expert at it. You've been in that field. I don't contend with that, but I understand politics, news, and current events more than you because I live it just like you lived war. Okay, so that's what
You
I'm
don't.
saying.
You lie about it more than me. That's what you
You
do.
can't tell me one lie.
This is so funny to me because I get into debates at my local bar and I do a political show. It's not the level of Owen Shroyer's, but I do have to watch politics quite a bit. And when I get into an argument with these morons in this bar, they are like criminally retarded. Like they are just, they don't know basic fucking things about the world around them because they only watch Fox News and Fox News only tells you what they want you to know. And most of the time, what they want you to know is not real. So they don't even understand. That's why this dude is like this. He watches Fox News. He thinks he's well informed. And then you get into a debate and you just get your shit pushed in by Owen Shroyer.
You have not said.
I
one
told
lie.
you numerous lies. You lie all the time about the exact
I'm gonna
things that I
shut
just
up.
talked
I'm going to
about
shut
this
up.
whole time.
You show me one lie.
The thing that you posted yesterday about the IDF was a lie. The thing that you posted on my stuff.
Okay. Now, if we go look at that, you're going to see There's no lie there. And I hope he does
about
that.
the IDF
Hope he pulls
was
it
a
up.
lie.
What?
Everything you post about
What is
Israel,
the lie?
everything you talk about Israel on your show is
Tell
a
me-
lie.
Tell me the
Everything
lie.
you're talking about in the Middle East right now that we just talked about is a lie.
Tell me the
So his example is that thing you said the other day. You lied. Tell us the lie. What are you talking about? Why is it a lie? Let's get into it and see if it's a lie.
It's all lies.
Tell me.
I've called them all out. There's so many lies, and
You haven't
so
said
many.
what? You literally haven't said what?
You've said numerous. You've said
So name
numerous.
one.
Everything you just said about the Middle East and about Israel is a lie. You think that we went to war in the Middle East for Israel? Is that what you think?
I didn't say that, but
If
that
we would have went to war for Israel in the Middle East, it wouldn't even have been the Middle East. It'd been Central Asia, and we would have went into Iran.
Do you believe the official narrative of September 11th? Do you think we got the truth about that?
I don't think we got the whole truth.
Okay.
What are you trying to get at? What's
Well, I just think we were lied to. I think 9/11 was an inside job, and I think we haven't been I don't think we've gotten any of the truth, and I think the official narrative is ridiculous, quite frankly. And I think that's where a lot of it.
No, Owen, this guy wants to believe the little bits of truth mixed in with all the lies, right? That's the truth. Like, of course. No, when someone lies to you, I don't believe anything they say. Everything they say is void at that point. Once you show me you're telling me lies, why would I believe anything else you've said? I have to do my own research. And when I did that, I found out that, I don't think anyone from Saudi Arabia even did that. Or I think they were assisted in that.
Stems from. I think a lot of this stems from the lie of September 11th.
Okay, so what's your theory, and what proof do you have to back that up?
Do you need proof for like something an opinion you have in your head? Prove Israel's our greatest ally then.
Well, let's see. When you have the passports of the hijackers sitting on top of a pile of rubble and molten lava, I'd say that that's a pretty nearly impossible thing. When they claim that a plane.
No, but Owen, they threw it out the window when they were flying the plane into the building. That's why it just floated down and landed on the top of all the smoldering shit. Like it just floated. Like the wind caught it and it just like. That's how it got to be on the top of those smoldering buildings.
Nearly impossible
Pentagon, when they claim that a plane hit the Pentagon, and there's literally no plane in any of the videos. There's zero plane. It doesn't exist. So that's quite spectacular. I'm not here to get into a history of 9/11, but yeah, I mean, we were definitely lied to about it.
Okay. So again, what does that have to do with anything else?
Because that's what led to this massive incursion in the Middle East and the Iraq War and the Afghanistan war, and tens of thousands of Americans died.
Yes, it was used by Bush to go into Iraq. Yes, Afghanistan was actually an important. It was until it wasn't. Right. SF had that wrapped up in a bow within 6 months of being there, and if they would have left it to just SF and the CIA, Afghanistan would have fallen, and it would have been fine, and we wouldn't have had to send a bunch of troops there. But they were setting up the precursors for us to go into Iraq. And so they needed to protract the war in Afghanistan because of that. Yes, I'll agree with you that there were some things that stink about 9/11, and there was definitely some things about that they used for that to get us into Iraq. But none of that has anything to do with Israel, right?
Well, no, that's not right. Benjamin Netanyahu was one of the people that were telling our Congress that we had to go do that.
Benjamin Netanyahu was not the prime minister when we invaded Iraq.
I didn't say that. I said he was going in front of Congress on record saying that we had to go take them out because they had weapons.
What does that matter? He was a private citizen at that time.
And what is he now? What was he after he got elected? Did he come help us? Did he send troops? Did he do anything? Nah, that was our problem then.
When he did that. So what is that? Like, how does that change the fact? How do you then get to that was Israel? It was Benjamin Netanyahu. I'm not a fan of him. I don't even care about.
And who do we send all of our money to? Like who is the person who receives all that money? Who's that guy, right? Isn't that Benjamin Netanyahu? So why are we still sending him money?
Israeli politics, I think they're actually a little too far left. So I don't.
It's almost like this guy has just accepted that these Israelis are just supposed to lie to us, and that's just how our bosses treat us. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why would you support people who have lied to you and gotten you into fucking conflicts that were a big black eye on your country for fucking decades? Why would you do that?
I agree with everything they do, but if you're looking at the strategic alliance of what we are and the shared interest that we have with them, that's what you need to look at.
What shared interest?
The shared interest is that we're both Western style democracies built on freedom of self-determination
So
And
what does
the
that have to
freedom-
do
the
with,
freedom
what
to
does it have to do with the
defend yourself.
military? What does that have to do with the
So is Canada. So what?
military? There's plenty of nations that are like us like that.
Yeah.
There's plenty of similar
What,
nations.
in the
Look
Middle
at-
East, which one? Name one.
Canada.
I just mean in the world.
Okay, and we're allied with a lot of those. Which one in the Middle East are we? Which one in the
Yeah, and they come help us in war, right?
Middle
We
East?
have to pay all this money. So why do we have to give them all this money?
Which one in the Middle East is like that?
I don't know. Probably none, but I don't really care.
Just Israel, right?
I don't care.
So it makes sense that we would align with an ideologically similar nation.
Why do you even have to align? Just leave them both alone.
Why is that a bad thing?
I mean, again, why am I paying them all this money?
You're not paying them anything. $3.8 billion is the annual aid, if you want to call it that gets pushed back into U.S. weapons and military systems being built, right? So 75% of that comes right back to us and is built and paid to Americans who work in America.
It's the military industrial complex.
And regardless, $3.8 billion
Regardless.
is 0.056% of the annual budget. It's not even 1/10%. And you're crying about that?
I'm crying. I'm crying.
So how many of those 0.1% do you think add up until it's all of our budget, right? There's a lot of countries. This little New Jersey-sized country in the Middle East is getting like more than anyone else. How do you make that make sense, right? And I don't care if they buy weapons from some American weapons makers. So fucking what? What does that help us? No, it only helps the guys that own that fucking business. And that big fucking whoop.
Crying. Look at my tears. And that number is far short of what the actual number is. But yeah, okay. Our country is falling apart. Our country is falling apart.
We give more than $3.8 billion.
Get you everything here, okay? If you want to do the research for yourself, go ahead. I've done
the research. The MOU we have, the MOU that we have with Israel is $3.8 billion.
All right, I can't do this anymore.
You're lying about it.
Okay,
Why are you lying about it?
About
another thing you lied about. How many lies is that, people? That's a lot of lies in one show.
What am I lying about? All right, this is the last one I'm going to give you. What am I lying about?
You just lied about that. You just lied. You said that we give Israel more than that. $3.8 billion is is the aid that we give. It's literally an MOU. It's literally signed by Congress.
Let's see. Congress.gov. To date, the United States has provided $174 billion in assistance to Israel. All right?
That's
there
over the entire time.
There you go. Congratulations.
That's over the entire existence of us working together. How many years is that?
Oh, okay. Well, you can give me that much every year then, and we'll just let it build up to that amount too. What the fuck? So what? It's $170 billion we've given to this New Jersey-sized country in the Middle East that does nothing but start wars and fight with everyone around them. Make that make sense.
Yeah, your point?
Okay, my point is
that your kid? Go take care of your baby. Go take care of your kid.
My wife's down there with the baby. Dude, you're such a piece of shit, dude. Like,
nice.
Seriously.
Nice.
It's
Classy.
Like I don't get an ick from people a lot, but you give me an ick. You're one of those people.
Oh, just like the ladies on the whatever, every Sunday night, they get the ick about things too. Maybe it's because you're on your period, bitch.
Dude.
That's
like
good. Well, that's something in you. That's something in you.
You and all your little Groypo followers that are going to get on here and they're going to say stuff like,
why do you keep doing that? What are you even talking about?
All
right. All right. Nice talking.
Bye. I guess he ran away.
All right.
All right. Let me go to the next video. Give me a sec.
Here we go.
And here we go. Hit it too many times. There we go. What the fuck? Try it again.
It's hurt us. It's hurt our people. It's hurt our future. And we're sick of tired of liberals stepping into the fray and saying, no, you just have to accept it. No, we don't. And I think that now that we've tried this experiment, we've seen that it's failed.
It's fueled by anger. It's fueled by aggression. It's fueled by frustration, as if those things propel it onto planet fact, when of course it doesn't. It doesn't even allow it to orbit planet fact.
From arrests and even jail terms for poor taste tweets to a breakdown in law and order and out-of-control migration, the MAGA view of Britain is decidedly unflattering. Outrage over this summer's Raise the Colours campaign and the arrest by armed police of comedian Graham Linehan have only advanced a dark vision of the UK promoted by star podcasters Tucker Carlson, Elon Musk, and even the US Vice President, J.D. Vance. Many Brits do agree with at least some of the tone of this coverage. However, others believe it's based on cynical falsehoods, racist motives, and the opportunism of using Britain to warn Americans not to drop their MAGA guard. So who is right? Well, here to debate this, talk show host and commentator Owen Shroyer claims he too was prosecuted for speech during the January 6th riots. Lawyer and uncensored contributor Paula Rowan Adrian, conservative commentator Isabel Oakeshott, and the social media superstar Big John Bosch Fisher, also known as the Bosch Father. Welcome to all of you, and particularly to you, John. Been a fan of yours for a long time, and your work on social media.
Thank you, Piers. At least I know I've got one fan. It's a pleasure to be here. I didn't think I'd be here this afternoon, so thank you very much for having me on.
Well, it's great to see you. And the reason we wanted you on was I watched your interview with the BBC the other night, and you hit, I think, just a great tone, which may have been a bit different to the tone some people might have expected from you, from your stuff on social media. They might have thought you kind of, I would say Little Englander, but you're not little, obviously. You know what I mean? That you would meet that kind of stereotype. And actually, you hit a far more, I felt, far more tolerant tone in what you said. And it was an important thing that you said. What is your view, John? For those who may not have seen that clip, but what is your view of where we are as a country right now?
I think we're in troubled times, if I'm being truthful, Piers, and sad times as well, because I'd rather see communities come together than being driven apart in which they are. And you're right, we're seeing a lot of falsehoods online. People don't know what to believe, and a lot of frustrations. And when people are frustrated, they do things that they wouldn't normally do. I would like to see people come together a bit more, because we still are a great country and a great people, wherever we come from, whatever our backgrounds. So, yeah, just a bit sad at the moment, sad times.
I talked to Tucker Carlson earlier this week, and he was saying that Britain is now, to him, it's a sad place, it's a disgusting place, it's a suicidal place, making out there's a kind of apocalypse here. And I had to put him right and say, I don't feel any of those things. I'm very proud of my country, proud to live here. But there's no doubt, John, that there is a feeling in the air that things just aren't right, and that the government and successive governments haven't got a handle on some of the core problems, whether it's the number of people coming in illegally on the small boats that Keir Starmer said he would smash the gangs, and clearly hasn't. He's just smashed new records of people coming in that way. And so on, whether it's people being arrested for jokes on social media, which some people may find distasteful, but actually we're a democratic society, supposedly a grown-up one. What are armed police doing, sweeping people up at airports for jokes on social media? There's a lot going on that just, I think, makes people think, what are we becoming?
There is a lot going on, but I think it's heightened by social media. We're in an age now where anything happens and it's portrayed and highlighted over and over again. And there are certainly things we can improve on. And you're right, Piers, I think it's down to the governments, and it has been successive governments that have let our people down. And I'm not sure at the moment any political party is there to fix it at the moment. But I'm hopeful. We're a great country, we're a great people, we've got a lot of clever people here. So I'm hoping that people can use a lot of common sense, find a common ground and start to come together.
Well said. Let me bring in Owen Shroyer. You're an ultra MAGA commentator. You're not a fan of the way you believe the UK is going. Explain why.
Well, I don't know how many people would consider me ultra MAGA now. And Piers, normally I wouldn't concern myself with the affairs of the UK since we broke free of your authoritarians in 1776. But it does seem what happens there ends up happening here as well. And I know you were quite shocked going through some of your prep for this segment. You said, was Owen Shroyer prosecuted or persecuted for free speech? No, I was prosecuted. I was put in prison for my speech. And you can read the court documents to see for yourself. So I'm concerned that when I see people in the UK going to prison for speech, and then it comes to my country, well, all of a sudden, maybe I need to be concerned about what's going on in the UK. But as far as your question is concerned, I have to agree with some of your opening commentary. To America, from an outsider's perspective, like you mentioned, Tucker Carlson, it does seem that Britain has fallen. It does seem that England and the UK have fallen. When I think about the concept of visiting Europe or touring Europe, I feel like, what is there left to see? I mean, there might be some images, there might be some
Poland. I'd visit Poland.
Buildings and some history, but is it really the same Europe? Is it really the same culture? Is it really the same people even? I think it's a fair question to ask. And many people don't even feel safe traveling to Europe anymore. So of course they're not going to. I see the same thing happening in my country now. I think it is sad from a global perspective to think that all these different cultures around the world are all slowly morphing into the exact same thing. And it feels like this is the concept of globalism coming to its conclusion. No unique culture, no unique people, no unique place to go visit. And yet that's what it appears is happening. And then how dare you stand up and say something about it? How dare you stand up and have an issue with it? Because then the name calling begins and the character assassination begins. I think one case that is obviously widely covered is the Tommy Robinson case. Here's a man who just tries to stand up for what he believes in and the issues he sees going on in his country. And what does he have to endure? Constant attacks, constant imprisonment, constantly just fighting for his freedom. So I think that this is the righteous indignation that many Europeans are feeling right now. And they just look to their leadership, they look to their government, and they don't see it there. They don't see them there standing with them. And so they're looking for other alternatives, Piers. And what does that mean?
Well, a few things to unpack there, and I will with my other guests, but just on a couple of points. On Tommy Robinson, who is real name Stephen.
I just want to point out this video, this debate actually occurred within a month from the last video that I just showed. They were both in December of last year. And here he is going after the Muslims here. He went after the Israelis in the last video. And the other guy was saying how Owen just loves the Muslims. We're pointing out problems when we see them. If it's a problem, we talk about it. That doesn't mean that we're like on the side of these people just because they're the ones being affected by all the negative things that Israel's doing. We're just pointing these problems out. And if Muslims are the ones getting taken advantage of or in a bad spot, then that's what we're calling out. Like that's what we're here to do. Oh shit.
Hey everyone, Trav here, just to remind you that
do that again.
It's hurt us. It's hurt.
Tone in what you said, and it was an important thing that you said.
Sorry about that. I'm terrible at this.
What is your view, John? For those of you who may not have seen that clip, but what is your view of where we are as a country right now?
I think we're in.
Of my country, proud to live here, but there's no doubt, John, that there is. These are smash new records for people coming in that way, and so on. Whether it's people being arrested for
where anything happens, and it's
trying to get to where Owen was talking.
Since we broke free of your authoritarians in 1776, but it does seem what happens there ends up happening here as well. And I know you were quite shocked going through some of your prep for this segment. You said, was Owen Shroyer prosecuted or persecuted for free speech? No, I was prosecuted. I was put in prison for my speech, and you can read the court documents to see for yourself. So I'm concerned that when I see people in the UK going to prison for speech, and then it comes to my country, well, all of a sudden, maybe I need to be concerned about what's going on in the UK. But as far as your question is concerned, I have to agree with some of your opening commentary. To America, from an outsider's perspective, like you mentioned, Tucker Carlson, it does seem that Britain has fallen. It does seem that England and the UK have fallen. When I think about the concept of visiting Europe or touring Europe, I feel like what is there left to see? I mean, there might be some images, there might be some buildings and some history, but is it really the same Europe? Is it really the same culture? Is it really the same people even? I think it's a fair question to ask. And many people don't even feel safe traveling to Europe anymore. So of course they're not going to. I see the same thing happening in my country now. I think it is sad from a global perspective to think that all these different cultures around the world are all slowly morphing into the exact same thing. And it feels like this is the concept of globalism coming to its conclusion. No unique culture, no unique people, no unique place to go visit. And yet that's what it appears is happening. And then how dare you stand up and say something about it? How dare you stand up and have an issue with it? Because then the name calling begins and the character assassination begins. I think one case that is obviously widely covered is the Tommy Robinson case. Here's a man who just tries to stand up for what he believes in and the issues he sees going on in his country. And what does he have to endure? Constant attacks, constant imprisonment, constantly just fighting for his freedom. So I think that this is the righteous indignation that many Europeans are feeling right now. And they just look to their leadership, they look to their government, and they don't see it there. They don't see them there standing with them. And so they're looking for other alternatives, Piers. And what does that mean?
Well, a few things to unpack there, and I will with my other guests, but just on a couple of points. On Tommy Robinson, who is real name Stephen Laxley, but I have repeatedly invited
I got to get eye drops real quick. I'm going to leave it running.
him to come on uncensored, and we could have a proper conversation about it. He has repeatedly bottled it. I now call him bottle job on social media because he just won't do it. He does everybody else, but he won't do me. And I think one of the reasons is that there is a perception in America that poor little Tommy has only been telling the truth about the UK, and that's why he's been in prison recently. Well, poor little Tommy was actually sued by a young Syrian refugee boy who sued him for lying about him. Robertson was found to have lied by a court, had to pay him £100,000. Then he went and repeated all the lies, breaching a court order about the Syrian boy, and that's why he was found in contempt of court, which he did completely deliberately, and he was put in prison. That had nothing to do, for example, with the grooming gang scandal or anything else, where he's made some perfectly valid points. But he's managed to persuade a lot of Americans that he's the kind of Pied Piper of free speech, and that every time he tells the truth, he gets put in prison. Not quite as straightforward as that. So I think
I like Tommy Robinson. He does some good work. I've been watching him for like 6 years now, 7 years now. He was doing the same work back then, but the problem is like he's left and right too. He's Zionist, I think. I'm not positive, but from what I've heard, he might be.
On that point, I think I wanted to put that on the record. Secondly, in relation to you in your situation, you were arrested during the January the 6th riots. You were down there at the Capitol. Why do you think it was? You shake your head. Is that not true?
No, I was not arrested during the January 6th event. I was arrested months afterwards in August of 2021. No problem, Piers, just correcting the record.
If you could just tell me exactly what was your role on January the 6th, just to clear that up.
Sure. So I'll make this as quickly as possible out of respect for your guests. I was there covering the event as a journalist. I was there with my team at InfoWars and Alex Jones. You may or may not remember a segment you had with Alex Jones.
I remember him very well.
Viral. It may still be viral to this day. So I was there covering it as a journalist. There's been a lot of false reporting out there. Like there was a standing agreement I had with the government that I wasn't allowed to go in D.C. or I wasn't allowed to be on Capitol grounds. These are false reports. There were false reports that I didn't complete a community service from a prior speech charge against me. I did. All of these things were false. I did not violate any probation. I did not break any laws that day, except they claim a lesser misdemeanor trespassing charge on government property, which, as far as people are concerned, in the Federal Bureau of Prison system, I was the first non-felon to ever serve time in a federal prison. Let me repeat that. A non-felon, me, for a lesser trespassing misdemeanor, spent months in a federal prison for a speech crime. And they can claim it wasn't about speech, but it was. If you look at the government documents, all the incidents that they used to throw me in prison were things that I said. So yes, I was in Washington, D.C. on January 6th. I was covering the event. I never touched a police officer. I never went inside the Capitol building. These are all false claims. And so I'm not surprised that you might be confused in reporting this stuff because of all the false reports that have been out there. So I'm glad you're giving me a chance to clear the record right now.
You have cleared that up. Let me bring in Paula. The country's collapsing. It's sad, it's disgusting, it's suicidal. We're all done for. Your thoughts?
I don't recognise any of that, and it's really disappointing to hear somebody who purports to be educated to be repeating such things, to be saying such things, to be spouting them across social media, which is very much the problem. And Piers, I'm so glad actually that you've invited me on today, because you know that we debate many topics about this great nation, but we never really get an opportunity to say the wonderful, marvellous things about this country, and particularly at a time where we are seeing on social media, where we are hearing so much negativity that is, of course, baseless. And what's it fueled by? It's fueled by anger. It's fueled by...
It's baseless. As if you don't get arrested for making jokes in England. Like, it's on the news. It's not like something, it's not propaganda either. Like Count Dankula, I've actually spoken to Count Dankula. They did get arrested. This has been happening in England for quite a while. He went to jail for teaching a dog, to do the little Nazi thing. And I think it was a joke. I would assume a pug doing that is a joke, but he had to go to jail for it. He got arrested. He had all that. That's what England is doing. So as long as you don't mind, having somebody else tell you what you're allowed to say, yeah, England's fine then.
Aggression, it's fueled by frustration, as if those things propel it.
As long as you can avoid the grooming gangs too.
onto Planet Fact, when of course it doesn't. It doesn't even allow it to orbit Planet Fact. It's so important that we hear all voices. And of course, we don't get everything right. But, you know, this is a great nation.
How do you feel when people are being arrested for jokes?
So what I feel is that if you want us to debate policing, if you want us to debate laws and their relevance,
no,
then
free speech is what I want to debate.
Then let's do that.
No,
but
I'm debating the principle.
Let's
Hang
not
on,
talk down a country, a great country, which is based on and gave birth to the rule of law.
Yes, but Paula, this is the problem, is that one of the reasons I don't recognise my own country, even though I love living here and I'm very proud to be British, one of the problems I have is I cannot believe my eyes when I hear that 5 armed policemen are arresting comedians at airports for jokes posted on social media. It's ridiculous. Do you think it's ridiculous?
They were armed because police officers at airports.
There are lots of unarmed policemen at airports.
They were armed.
Completely fatuous argument.
At the airport
there are many unarmed. There are many unarmed policemen at the airport too. Completely fatuous argument.
And all of them outside of the airport are all armed, not armed, because England's pussies.
Do you agree with the principle of people being arrested by armed police for jokes?
I agree with the principle that if you are deemed to have broken the law, then the police should arrest you.
What law did he break? What law did he break with those jokes?
I wasn't the arresting officer.
But you've read the jokes.
I wasn't the arresting officer.
You've read the jokes, Paula.
I wasn't the arresting officer.
You've read the jokes.
If you're asking me whether I agree that he should be arrested or not, if you're asking me whether I agree that he should be investigated, then I have to say I'm in difficulty, and I would be.
So you don't agree?
I'm in difficulty.
Bloody hell!
It's
too woke even for you.
There's nothing to do with being woke, Piers, and you understand what the definition of woke is. It's not about this being woke, Piers, which is just it's a crass thing to suggest.
It kind of is actually.
This is about whether the police.
It kind of is, because the jokes always go against people who make them against the left side. The right side is the only people getting arrested for this insult shit. They're the only ones. It is political, and it does have to do with being woke.
No. And we know what the stats are in relation to the police acting inappropriately when, for example, when we talk about black males and stop and search.
Now you're playing whataboutery.
We know about those statistics.
All right.
And
that's not part of this debate.
Of course we...
So you can't criticize the dark people. You just have to let them do whatever. If you talk about it, then you got to go to jail for a while. Like, you can't talk about all the... SA that's going on, or the grooming gangs, or any of that, or else, hey, you might have to spend some time in jail, because that's bad to talk about the things that the dark people over there are doing. That's her mentality here.
Before I go to Isabel, one more question.
You're the criminal if you complain about it.
Paula, so I think that was your long, convoluted way of saying you agree with me, which is great. Before we go to Isabel, I just want to ask you about the other thing that is inflaming tensions in the UK, because as somebody who used to happily identify as liberal, again, I cannot accept what is happening with these small boats. It is completely ridiculous that we have record numbers of people just careering over here, over the channel, and coming into the country illegally, and then successive governments putting them in fancy hotels and giving them all the things that many people living in Britain legally are incapable of enjoying.
Hey, Britain, stop copying our shit. That's what we did over here.
That is just completely wrong, and it's putting huge pressure on our infrastructure, huge pressure on our services. The NHS is falling apart. Both my parents have had serious things. One had a heart attack, one broke 6 ribs. Both went to the same A&E in an 18-month period, and both had to sit or lie on a trolley in a corridor for over 8 hours with loads of other people lying on corridors. This is Britain in 2025. It is outrageous. And yet they have to pick up the paper, like everybody else, and see that if you come over illegally on a boat, you get put in a nice hotel. This is completely wrong. Do you agree it's completely wrong?
No, I barely agree.
Wow.
I barely agree with...
Hey, those immigrants who are just going to get on welfare, hey, they deserve 5-star treatment too, don't they?
Anything that you've just said.
Well, which part?
There was so much.
Give me one part you don't agree with.
I don't agree that they are people who are being put up in luxury hotels.
Well, they are.
Well, Piers, what happens is that successive
Paul, they literally are being put in luxury hotels.
Piers, I appreciate that you're shouting at me, but
it's a fact.
I appreciate you're shouting at me, but you're shouting at me because you know that ultimately I'm going to say something that you're going to have to agree with. Piers, what is happening
They're not living in hotels.
Piers, what is happening is that we have unregulated immigration. I accept that. We have unregulated...
Go with me on this distraction, Piers. He asked you a question. This has nothing to do with the question. Why would he answer this?
Where are they being put?
We have unregulated immigration because successive governments have failed to provide for legal routes for people to claim asylum.
Where are they being put?
The only thing that they can do is to pay smugglers to get them across the channel, where they can then legally
Oh, that's so tragic. Who gives a fuck? Where are they putting them?
claim asylum.
Where are they being put?
The only places that are available for them to be put is via companies who buy up hotels, and then the companies place the refugees, the potential,
in 5-star hotels. There you go. So Piers was right for a change.
Asylum seekers in hotels.
And who's paying for that?
It is the companies.
Who's paying for
the
that?
Home Office is paying for that.
So who's
and the
that?
companies
Who pays for
are
the Home
making
Office?
millions
Who pays for the
from
Home
the
Office?
government because of that.
The government. There you go.
Absolute millions.
Paula, don't keep talking.
There you go. That's how you get it out of a leftist. It just takes 20 minutes. You just have to keep asking the same question over again until they finally get finished with their diatribe and at the end admit, yeah, you were right.
I can agree with you.
I got two.
Is that the system
Paula,
is broken in terms
I
of what we do
I feel like
for
I'm going
asylum
completely
seekers.
nuts because nothing you've said contradicts anything I said. They are being put into nice hotels at taxpayer expense. We pay for the Home Office. That is happening. They are there illegally.
But that's not the way I wanted to frame it, Piers.
He's wrong, and it is causing tension. And nothing you've said, you disagree with everything I said. You've actually agreed with all of it. Isabel, I want to bring Isabel in. Isabel, you, I know, are a proud patriot, but you have left the country and now live in Dubai. So, first of all...
Absolutely. I'd forgotten how absolutely ridiculous Paula is. Much as I love her, that was ludicrous. I mean, where do we begin with that? Yes, cards on the table. I think things are so bad in the UK that I have literally left. I have done something incredibly radical in my own mind because I love my country. I am British and it will always be my home. But I have taken my children out of the UK and am now educating them in the Middle East, where they get a traditional British...
Did it get that bad? You had to go join them?
education without any of the trans bollocks and woke ideology. So, you know,
if you can't beat them, you join them, I guess.
I'm very proud of that decision. It's a very proactive way of dealing with a situation that you can't immediately change. But I don't recognize everything that Tucker Carlson said. The one word he didn't use actually was angry. And I think Britain is a very angry place at the moment. And I think it is very divided. And I don't really want to live in a place that is so angry all the time. And it's angry, I'm afraid, because of people like Paula, who are in complete denial, absolute barefaced denial about the facts, which are...
She's not in denial. She's a liar. There's a difference. She's not in denial. This is better for her. Her party gets more votes with all these immigrants who don't know what they're doing. They just vote for whoever tells them to vote for them. That's why they want low information voters. That's what they all want.
Exactly as you said, that we are allowing thousands of people, sometimes thousands in a matter of days, undocumented people who have come through perfectly safe countries, and they are coming across the channel for a luxury existence at taxpayer expense. And that is completely outrageous.
And what is fueling more anger is that some of them, a small percentage, but some of them are then committing horrendous crimes, sex crimes against people when they get here, right? And I'm sorry, again, that is bound to inflame a lot of anger and tension.
You know, it makes the victims a lot more angry whenever they don't get in any trouble for it. Whenever you just kind of let them go and say, oh, that's their culture, that can really kind of make a victim feel really angry.
Communities, when they know that these people have come in on these boats day after day after day in huge increasing numbers, and they're being put up in nice hotels, and then they're committing crimes. It is a three-pronged guaranteed way to enrage the average Brit, who I think looks at this and goes, this is just not fair. Let me bring John back in, because I think you seem a very decent guy to me, John. I've enjoyed your stuff on social media, never met you, but how do, you know, am I right about this? Is it these things that upsetting people? When you talk to people in your community, what is the sense you're getting about what is fueling a lot of the anger?
Listen, I'm a normal English chap, married father of 4, and you do talk to a lot of people, and there is a lot of anger about asylum seekers, and there's no hiding from the fact that we do have a problem. And it's how best to sort that problem out. And it seems to be, whatever way you look at it, we can't sort that problem out. And people are angry over that.
Because I had an argument, John, with Tucker Carlson, for example, about multiculturalism. I actually think that the UK and the US, I spend a lot of time in the US, I have a home in America, and I flip between the two. I don't think there are two better examples of multicultural countries where they have been.
In that debate with Tucker, Piers said the reason it's so good is because he can get good food. That all this multiculturalism, hey, I can get a kebab anywhere I go. Wonderful, Piers. Wonderful, wonderful.
Been as tolerant and encouraging to multiculturalism as the US and UK. And I think that is still the case. And I don't worry about my culture being consumed and overtaken. But do you pick that up from people? Do you think people are genuinely concerned now that the way the country is going is changing so rapidly that the multiculturalism we've always enjoyed and become world-renowned for our tolerance and fairness and welcoming to people, is that beginning to get damaged now?
I don't think people are worried about losing their Englishness. We're still English, we're still British. But I do think people are worried about losing some sort of identity. And that's the anger that's coming out on the streets. But I think the anger is more at the politicians in our country, because no one seems to be standing up for British people, like the pensioners. The first thing Keir Starmer did when he got
whack the pensioners,
was whack the pensioners.
And the farmers.
And it's the pensioners that we should be protecting above everybody else in this country.
Yes.
But listen, I don't know what the answer is. A lot of clever people than me don't know what the answer is. But there's got to be some way of sorting it out, but sorting it out in a logical way, coming together and talking about it.
Yes.
Because we are a multicultural country, there's no denying that, and we have a lot of good things from other parts of the world that made our country better, and we don't want to stop that. But we also, you've got to look after British people as well. There's a lot of people struggling, a lot of veterans struggling, a lot of old age pensioners struggling. So we've got to find a way of helping other people as well.
Yeah, I mean, Paula, do you accept that sometimes you do sound like you're in total denial about some of these core issues, which people really do care about? I mean, you and I have debated the trans women in sport issue, for example, which, just almost everybody I've ever talked to, right, who's not got a sort of skin in the game, agrees with me about that it was just completely unfair and wrong and shouldn't have been happening.
Piers doesn't understand. These paid shills don't care how they sound. They're getting paid. That's all that matters. The check cleared. That's all they care about.
Have you come round? I've got a book called Woke is Dead coming out in a few weeks, because I genuinely feel the vast majority of people have just had enough of this stuff. But are you able to look at that like Malcolm Gladwell did, for example, this week, about that very issue and admit he was completely wrong?
So the issue with trans women in sports is...
Everybody run out and buy Pierce's book, right? From a male feminist is going to tell you why woke is bad. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
It's a very nuanced and complicated
one.
Not
really, it's very simple.
It's a very nuanced and complicated
it's not complicated.
One. And the issue around the science behind it is still being debated.
It really boils down to whether you...
I don't want to get into that right at this moment.
It's not being debated.
What I do want to do...
It's not being debated.
What I do want to do is to just respond to your question
just move on
about whether I'm in bare denial.
You can't say things which are clearly wrong. It has been settled now. Even the Prime Minister has worked out what a woman is. Well, in terms of
the law,
the Supreme Court has
worked
out what it
absolutely.
is. And actually, we all know that...
Are you talking about professional sports, or are you talking about amateur sports, or are you talking about the fun run?
It is obviously wrong.
What I'm saying
Paula,
to you is I don't want... We're not going to debate this now, because what I'm doing is
But if you're going to make a definitive statement that it's all still being debated, it's not. My point is, most people understand it is completely wrong and unfair and physically dangerous for people who were born biologically male to compete in women's sport. If they want to identify as trans, not a problem with me. If they want me to call them, she, her, not a problem. But the moment it erodes women's rights, big problem. And that has been the problem with that issue from the start. And I think when a brain the size of...
It's always a problem whenever it affects the women because Piers is the biggest feminist on earth.
Of Malcolm Gladwell's is big enough to go, I was completely wrong.
Far bigger than
Then a
mine.
brain like yours, equally large,
So
should be able to say, you know what, Piers, I was just wrong.
So we're not talking about, for example, safe spaces for women, which you know I'm an absolute advocate for, and you know in my work I'm an absolute advocate.
Let's talk about trans athletes in
so
sport.
we're not talking about that.
Trans athletes in women's sport.
And in terms of
Do you still think it's right or not?
In terms of trans
Is
athletes,
it right or not, Paul?
In terms of trans athletes in sport, I have not got a brain as big as Malcolm Gladwell. What I understand that professional bodies have done is they have taken the scientific approach and have measured it on the basis of testosterone levels.
They ban them.
I don't have a problem with the professional bodies taking that scientific approach. I certainly don't have a problem with the decision that the Supreme Court made. That does not mean that I do not support the dolls.
Okay.
That does not mean that I cannot also support safe spaces for women. It doesn't have to be binary.
Let me tell you.
As long as those safe spaces let men dressed up like women into their bathrooms, right? That's the safe space. This woman's delusional.
You don't have safe spaces for women by allowing 6'5" bearded blokes into their locker rooms, do you?
I can agree with you that in that kind of circumstance, it may not be a safe space for women. But can we just talk about whether I am completely in denial about the topic in relation to the
Yeah, let's get back to this other topic that she's in denial about. Let's get back to that one.
UK and whether we are in a hellhole.
Well, I don't think we're in a hellhole, but I do think we've got big problems which successive governments have been abject in their failure to deal with.
And I can totally agree with you on that. Where I would then step further is to then say, why is it the fault of people who have just stepped foot in this country? Why is it the fault of...
Because they're the ones in the grooming gangs. Yeah, that's kind of their fault. Like if you go out and you try to trick young girls into being prostitutes for you, that's your fault.
The most vulnerable people.
Who are these people?
Why is it the fault of the most
people,
vulnerable people in society? That is where you and I are going to disagree.
Paula, when you say the
this
most...
isn't
Paula,
about being put up in a hotel.
Paula, we discovered...
This is about successive governments failing the country. That's what this is about.
When you say the most vulnerable people, you are aware...
In the world, yes.
Right. So you are aware that a year ago we discovered that a third of all the people who come in the year before into this country on small boats were young Albanian fit men from a country that is not a war-torn country. So they're not the most vulnerable people in the world. They are people on the make for a better life economically in our country. And when people like you, with all due respect, who bang this drum and say they're all vulnerable, needy people, they're not. And so
what you are talking about is an abuse of the process. You are talking about an abuse. You are talking about an abusive process, which I would
by 15,000 of them.
Obviously agree with you that we should not be permitting that. So we don't argue with where we find an abusive process, but we find that abusive process and we manage it.
The problem comes when you say leave all these poor vulnerable people alone.
Is exactly.
And actually we know a large number of them are young economic male migrants who are not.
Yeah, leave them alone. Grooming gangs are just their culture. It's okay.
Countries. That is the problem. And I believe in an asylum system if it is regulated properly and it works and it genuinely looks after those who are genuinely oppressed and come from war-torn.
You know, maybe they should be assimilating to the grooming gangs over there because that's what they deserve because they're letting this happen to themselves. They should be in revolt right now. Right now. We're almost to the point we should be in revolt. Like in a revolution type situation. They're definitely there. They're past there.
Countries. Isabel, final word to you about this. What hope is there for the UK? Give me some hope.
When your government puts you in jail because you made a joke, it's time for a revolution.
And then I'll go to Owen for a final word.
I'd have to get very party political. The hope is that there are elections in 3 or 4 years' time, by which time I do fear a great deal of damage will have been done. But the other bit of hope is that the country is in such a red hot, boiling mad mood that this appalling government may actually have to do something about some of it, at the very least, the small boats. The free speech stuff really, really worries me. You know, we've highlighted the case of a comedian, but there are cases every day of people who don't have platforms like that comedian. For example, a guy who said, "We love bacon," outside the site of a proposed mosque and found himself arrested for a racial related crime.
They're just months away from being able to do that same thing when you criticize the government, right? And whenever they get to there, You're in 1984, right? That's where you're at. The government is going to put you in jail for wrongthink. And that's just about political shit too. That's not even talking about this social shit they're talking about. When they get to political shit, that's when it's time. It's time.
Well, it's got nothing to do with race, does it? Bacon, absolutely ridiculous. Another one recently looks very much as if someone was arrested for calling someone else a muppet.
Yeah, I saw that.
This is dark stuff.
Yeah.
And I have no confidence that this government will truly tackle it.
Okay. I want to end, Owen, because I want to play the clip. This is of your former boss, Alex Jones, shouting at me on CNN in the clip that you referenced earlier.
The tyrants did it. Hitler took the guns. Stalin took the guns. Mao took the guns. Fidel Castro took the guns. Hugo Chavez took the guns. And I'm here to tell you, 1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms. Doesn't matter how many lemmings you get out there on the street begging for them to have their guns taken. We will not relinquish them. Do you understand? And that's why you're going to fail, and the establishment knows no matter how much propaganda, the Republic will rise again when you attempt to take our guns. Piers? Don't try what your ancestors did before. Why don't you come to America? I'll take you out shooting. You can become an American and join the Republic.
I miss that fucking guy so much. God, we could use him right now. I don't know what he's turned into, but I miss that guy.
As yet, I haven't actually joined the Republic. But the reason I played that clip is until this point, I thought that was the most he'd shouted at somebody. And then, of course, Owen, you left his organization and he began shouting at you. Let's take a look.
You think Alex Jones the last 12 months leveled up? Well, guess what? The next level's here. And if you want to fight, you better believe you've got one. Anybody. But if you've sucked off my tits, like the wolf that fed Romulus and Remus, and I've done nothing but giving you support. And make no mistake, for 10 years, Owen Shroyer's been sucking off the InfoWars tit.
Does that make you a lady?
And then you want to try to stab your mother in the back because you're a big boy leaving the nest. Well, guess what? You know what your mother is going to do? Piss on you.
I just want to say, Owen, I'm here for you. And I'm a living representation, I think. There is life after being shouted at by Alex Jones, and it can be extremely pleasurable and very, very much softer on your ears. Do you have a final word for Alex you'd like us to share?
I really enjoyed my time at InfoWars. It was a great time. I have nothing but peace and love in my heart. Whatever is bothering Alex, I hope that he finds peace. I don't think it has anything to do with me. I don't know why he decided to have this crash out. Other than that, it's been nothing but positivity. It's been nothing but positivity from everybody else in my world, except one person. But Piers, if you don't mind, I'd like to close on something else here. I find it incredible that we're taking anybody's opinion seriously that won't be honest about the difference between a man and a woman. I think that it's incredibly shocking that we would even humor anybody's opinion like that. And then you notice that she goes one step further and she says, well, what about the migrants? What about the asylum seekers?
Do you mean
what
Paula?
about your own people?
Are you referring
what
to
about
me?
your own citizens? I didn't disrupt you. Please be quiet. What about your own citizens? Isn't this the problem? Isn't this the problem that people in Europe and America are having? We're sick and tired. What is this idea that somehow somebody gets to come to your country from across the planet and get everything for free, and they have some right to do it, and then you're not even allowed to be upset or criticize it? What is this concept? It's a foreign concept. It is a subversive concept, and it is a destructive concept. And Piers, even though your liberal bleeding heart might say, hey, we want to be multicultural, we want to be tolerant, and I think for the most part we do, you have to admit it's resulted in violent crime. It's resulted in the rape of women, and we certainly cannot tolerate these things. And so we have to stand up and say, look, we have led the way as Westerners, and we have led the way when it comes to tolerance, and we have led the way when it comes to people wanting to call it multiculturalism, diversity, whatever you want to call it. We've led the way. But you know what? It's hurt us. It's hurt our people. It's hurt our future. And we're sick and tired of being told we have to put up with it. And we're sick and tired of liberals stepping into the fray and saying, no, you just have to accept it. No, we don't. We don't have to accept it. Life was better before it. And I think that now that we've tried this experiment, we've seen that it's failed.
Okay, very quick response from Paula.
So, Owen, and I took the time to learn your name, and we'll use it because that's what the respectful thing is to do. And I'm not going to shout at you, and I'm not going to holler at you, and I'm not going to berate you and belittle you and demean your argument, because I respect the fact that
that's what you do to your own people with the open
now
borders.
You're interrupting me, and what you did was you shouted at me when I tried to interrupt you just to clarify whether you knew my name or not. So what I am going to say to you is that I haven't denied biology, and I don't know why you thought that I did. And I do.
I listened to what you just said.
And now you're interrupting me again. And actually, there isn't that much that we disagree on in terms of why it's important for us to find a middle ground, and that we can do that by debating.
There is no middle ground. There's man and women. There is no middle ground.
You're interrupting me again. We can do that.
But you're speaking nonsense.
We can do that by
She's baiting him in for interruptions now because she just talks so fucking long and says nothing. It's a technique that Ben Shapiro teaches to the TPUSA girls. This is what they do. They'll just blah, blah, blah until you have to interrupt because they've talked for the show's ending. Well, look, we got a couple of seconds left. You got to interrupt with people like this because they just filibuster forever.
By having polite discourse, by understanding and learning where each other is coming from. Of course there is a middle ground. And to suggest that there isn't a middle ground means that it's only your way or the highway. And that simply isn't true.
No. There's biology. There's a man and a woman. Right. There is no middle ground.
Owen, we've moved past that now.
We've actually, you know what? We've actually moved to the end of this.
Science doesn't change.
We've moved to the end of the episode, and I think I've always wanted to do this. John, I'm going to give you the final word. You can only use one word. I'd like you to use the word that you are world famous for. Can you please close out this episode of Piers Morgan Uncensored in the only way that you know best?
Bash! Have a Chinese.
Thank you all very much.
Guess that's big in England. Who knows? Anyway, I felt like these two debates together kind of worked in tandem, right? It's just crazy because these people are so ideologically captured, right, that they just can't understand how you're not. It's baffling to me. They keep asserting these things and they think they're true. They think that in their mind it makes a lot of sense and they can't understand why you don't see it. And it's just crazy to me. And the last guy was calling Owen a Muslim lover or something like that. Then he goes on this one and debates this lady and he bashes the Muslims. If you're doing shit wrong, we're going to call it out. That's the whole point. That's what we're here to do. So it's really funny whenever you get to see it. And like, I guess this woman would say that he's some kind of an Israeli lover or something. I don't know. They all try and look at it as this left and right thing. And it's not anymore. It's just not. We're going to have to ally with some people that we think are shitheads like this, not her, but, people like that. We're going to have to, because we've got to root out the Israeli problem here. They've got to root out some Muslim problems over there. And I think that we can see foreign involvement is a problem, no matter where you get it from. But anyway, I'm going to let my dog, my co-host, Ozzy the attack terrier, I'm going to let him close the show out, and I will see y'all on Friday. Like I said, it's going to be a little later in the day. I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to do it around 2 or 3, I think, just to see if I can get people there. But I invite y'all to come check it out. I love having y'all here, and I will see y'all. Wait, let me do this first. And I will see y'all on Friday, probably around 2 or 3. We'll play some music too. Doing. Good. I will see y'all Friday. Peace. I promised the dog. Hold on. There you go. See y'all Friday. Peace.